Now let's have investment research. The investment research segment is responsible for generating recommendations to portfolio managers on companies in industries they follow. Similar to the portfolio management segment, there are several positions in the research hierarchy including analyst and depending on the firm associate. On the sell side, senior analysts typically have a 3 to 5 years of post-MBA research experience or 6 to 10 or post-university experience. On the buy side, MBA graduates typically occupy the analyst position. The senior research analyst. Senior research analysts are investment experts in their given industry focus. An equity analyst covers stocks, a fixed income analyst covers bonds. Their role is to predict the investment potential of the companies in their sector. Take an equity analyst covering technology companies including Apple for example. The analyst would be responsible for predicting Apple's future earnings and cash flow and comparing the fair value of Apple to the expectations of the stock market. A fixed income analyst focusing on telecom for example might be looking at a new high-yield corporate bond issued by an incumbent. The main thing that analysts will be looking for is the company's ability to pay off that loan, the amount of the bond. The Investment Research Associate Analyst. This is the role for most NBS or those with equivalent experience. It is typically a sell-side position but some larger buy-side firms employ the position as well. Essentially, associate analysts have the same responsibilities as senior research analysts with one exemption. Associate analysts are given smaller industries to follow. Typically, for the buy side, the industry assigned to an associate analyst is a component of a broader sector that is already being analyzed by a senior analyst. For instance, an associate analyst might be assigned HMOs and work closely with the senior analyst in charge of insurance companies. As stated above, the more likely scenario is for the MBA to enter the buy side as the senior analyst. On the sell side, the associate analyst will typically work under the senior analyst for several years before branching on his own to cover a subsector. The associate analysts create investment recommendations in the same manner as a senior analyst. In general, they spend several weeks familiarizing themselves with their industry by reading industry papers, journals and textbooks, and attending industry conferences. A large percentage of their time is spent monitoring industry and company trends to predict financial results for the company. Therefore, associate analysts are constantly speaking with management, customers, and suppliers to gauge the current status of the company they are analyzing. Armed with financial models and fundamental company analysis, they develop investment recommendations that they distribute to senior analysts or firms' portfolio managers. Obviously, financial acumen and quantitative skills are a must for associate analysts, but communication skills are also critical. Associate analysts need to be able to clearly and persuasively communicate the investment recommendations. They must also be able to respond to detailed inquiries from portfolio managers that challenge their ideas, something that requires strong tact and a great deal of patience. Furthermore, associate analysts need to be energetic, diligent, and intellectually curious. Investment Research Associate Analysts Pros and Cons. Their pros: they have autonomy and creative independence, they have high level of responsibility, and they pay well. Their cons: they have steep learning curve, they have always being graded, and they have difficult to earn respect from portfolio managers. The Investment Research Associate. Investment Research Associates work with senior research analysts to help in developing investment recommendations for portfolio managers. University graduates will typically spend 2 to 3 years as analysts before graduating to this role. The Investment Research Associates are responsible for helping to monitor the industry and changes within companies covered in the industry and to update financial models accordingly. Associates collect data for industry and data services, company conference calls and surveys. For instance, in the previous Apple computer example, the associate would be collecting data about consumer demand and input prices for semiconductors. The role of investment research associate requires a high level of quantitative knowledge. Primarily, a basic working knowledge of accounting, financial markets, financial analysis, and statistics is needed for this position. Aside from a strong quantitative background, research associates need to be detail-oriented, analytical problem solvers, diligent, and superior communicators. Generally, firms are looking for finance or accounting degrees, but engineers and science majors are also coveted. Investment research associate pros and cons. Pros: they have great quantitative experience. Most portfolio managers were once in research. They gain industry expertise. They pays well. They have typically a collegial environment. And the top performers are promoted without going to business school. Their cons: they have long hours, 60 hours per week. They could be a lonely work environment with lots of time in front of the computer, especially at a smaller firm. They have repetitive assignments and they have significant data work. Let's have the alternative entry points. Don't give up if one of the positions discussed above isn't available for you. These are difficult jobs to target. If you are having no luck getting positions with portfolio management or investment research teams, there are many other alternatives to pursue that will better position you to reply with only a year or two of additional experience. Below are descriptions of some of the best positions to consider. First, account and product management assistants. Because sales and marketing professionals are typically required to be fluent in all of the investment products, these positions create a great opportunity to learn about the various investment styles that clients demand. This area is also a great career opportunity for those interested in asset management but don't want to be the investment decision maker. If your goal is to use sales and marketing as a stepping stone to the investment side, make a point to work early on with investment professionals. Prove yourself at your current great job before you make it known that you want to make the switch and work toward developing the quantitative skills needed for the investment positions. Second, sell-side investment research. Many buy-side investment professionals come from the sell side. It is a great place to learn to do analysis, generate financial models, and construct investment reports. The quantitative skills and knowledge of the overall investment business makes former sell-side people desirable to asset management firms. Third, investment consulting. They are the firms that advise institutions and high net worth investors on appropriate diversification strategies and which asset managers to hire. At the entry level, you will assist on manager researchers and data collection for multiple investment styles. It is a good introduction to the different firms and the dynamics of the industry as a whole. And fourth, take the Chartered Financial Analyst exam. This is a three-part exam that tests your knowledge in financial accounting, statistics, investment analysis, economics, and ethics, among the other subjects. The CFA is becoming a standard for the industry and many people begin to process prior to even entering the industry. It is not prerequisite to getting an investment job, but working toward achieving it can certainly give you a leg up on your peers, especially pre-MBA graduates, as it shows commitment and dedication to a career in the investment industry.